Hello, everybody, and good day. This is Fred with Wentworth CCTV of New England, and we are coming at you today with a subscriber requested video on how to put the weatherproof plug on a exterior IP camera to protect the connection from the elements. If you don't use the weatherproof connector, we've talked about it in our previous videos, the connection, the terminal is going to corrode. Moisture is going to get in there, and your IP camera, because it's PoE, is not going to last very long. So they all come with these weatherproof connectors you can use with your pigtail, but it requires you to be able to crimp a Cat5 connection yourself. So this is a pretty simple topic. Some of you guys are advanced installers and users of CCTV equipment, so you'll have to bear with us. We also have some newer guys. The advanced topics are kind of over their head and they're starting from scratch one. And the question is, hey, how do I use this plug? So we're going to cover that right now. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Before we do, there's a red subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. That allows you to get notified when we upload exciting new content. Also, like the video if it's useful to you. And as always, leave comments. This video is based on a subscriber's comment or question. And yes, it's a basic topic, but a lot of people might find it useful, so we're going to do a video on it. The first thing we're going to do is unbox the camera from the box, okay? Pretty basic, right? This is, again, a capture IP camera, which is manufactured by Dahua. We love these guys. They're cost-effective, and they're great little cameras. When you open the box, you will find your weatherproof plug kit. You'll also find the Allen key that you can use to open up the dome of the camera, okay? But the video is on the plug, okay? So this weatherproof plug goes over your cable and it connects to the pigtail, all right? I think we're all good on that. To do this, you will need a couple of tools, okay? You are going to need a Cat5 or 6 crimper, okay? There's a description, there's a link in the description with a code to order one of these guys. It's made by Klein tools. Over the years, these have proven to be the best for us. You will also need, depending on the cable that you're using, Cat5 or 6 Ethernet plugs. Again, there's a link in the description on how to order these guys, okay? You do not want the feed-through plugs, okay? You don't want the feed-through plugs, so you want to order the ones that are in the link. As far as cabling, you do not want to use standard Cat5 internet cable. You do want to use Cat5e, which is mostly what you would find at Home Depot or Lowe's, that type of place. There's a link below for Cat5e cable. Now, Cat5e cable can handle 1,000 Mbps. Okay, that's more than enough for a camera. It's more than enough for 10 cameras, for 20 cameras. There's no need to run Cat6 cable unless you really need to. But you do need the Cat5e cable. And again, that's pretty much what you're going to find at Home Depot or Lowe's. I don't think there's any standard just Cat5 cable anymore. All right, so we've covered that. Let's get into making the connection. All right, so I have opened the pigtail kit. And there are basically 4 components. There's the plug. There's the cap. That looks like so. You have a weather-tight washer. And you have a foam plug, okay, that goes in to the connector. So what we're going to do before we terminate the wire, we want to take the main plug, okay, this part screws onto the camera. We're going to take that foam plug and insert it in there just like so, okay. That provides the wire a tight fitting. Then we're going to take that plug cap and we're going to plug that on here like so, okay, and just give it a couple turns. When it's fully tightened, it will squish that foam and make this hole weatherproof, okay. Now the washer that came with the kit, that actually goes on the pigtail. And a lot of people screw this part up. A lot of people I've seen put this washer in the cap, or they don't know what to do with it and they throw it away. That has to go on this pigtail, okay? So this is the pigtail for the camera. The washer goes there. And the reason for that is when this cap is threaded tight, it creates a weatherproof seal there, okay? See that? So that's where that weatherproof washer goes. Okay, now that we've got that straight, what we can do is we can run the cable, again, this is Cat5e cable, through the end hole to the foam of the cap. Okay, and that looks just like so. Okay, then you can tighten this up so it doesn't move around. And as you can see, I can't pull that. Okay, that's a weather tight seal that protects your connection from the elements. The only thing that's left is to use your tool to crimp on your Cat5 connector. Okay, so we're going to get a fresh cut on the jacket. This tool has a round spot for your cable to go in. Okay, when you do this, you want the blade right here to be facing the plug. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to give this a little turn, and we can remove this jacket and expose the cables within the Cat5 cable. Okay, there are 4 pairs or 8 total wires. There is a scheme. Okay, these wires have to be in a certain order on both ends. Okay, there is a code for the wiring scheme below, and that is the wiring scheme that you need to use. Okay, it's an industry standard. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to separate the white and orange. Those are the first 2 wires. Okay, and then we're going to go to green. As you see, I have it separated white and orange, white and green, and we have white and blue, and then we have brown. Okay, those are kind of our pairs. So we're going to go white and orange, and then orange. Then we want the white and green, right? And then we go from white and green to the blue guys, okay? So we're going to do blue and white and blue. Just like so. And then we put the green, okay? So the green guys are kind of spread out in between the blue. So far we have white and orange, orange, white and green, blue, white and blue, green. Just like so. Just like the wiring scheme shows you in the description, right? The old wiring scheme. And you'll do this a couple times and you'll remember. So white and orange, orange, white and green, blue, white and blue, green, white and brown, brown. Just like so, just like the wiring scheme says. Once you work these guys out and straighten them out and make sure they're in the proper order, okay, like so. I'm going to straighten them out and we're going to work them a little bit. And then we're going to cut these guys about the length of the connector, okay? Just like so. And I'm going to grab a connector. We are going to plug these into the connector and crimp them. All right, folks, we have removed the Cat5 plug from the Cat5 plug box, the container. Again, there's a link for that below. When you open it, you will actually see a wiring scheme kit right on it. There is, again, a link below telling you that code, but it will tell you right on here, T568B is the industry code you want to use. Okay, so you can use the link below, but you can also use this. So we've got our wires separated. Again, we're going to double check. White and orange, orange, white and green, blue, white and blue, green, white and brown, brown. Very important that you get them in this order. The white and brown are actually power wires. And if you cross those up, you can fry equipment. How do I know? Early on, I did it. So you want to make sure the last 2 wires are white and brown, brown. Once you put the plug on, nice and snug, okay, just like so, we're going to put them into the Cat5e crimping port of this tool, okay? You'll see one is labeled for Cat6 and one is labeled Cat5, my bad. So we're going to put that in there. we're going to crimp it, just like so. Okay. As you can see, when you do this, there are no wires exposed there. Okay. A good crimp, the jacket should be in the sleeve. Okay. Just like that. That's how you want it to look. Takes a little practice. Sometimes you make the wires a little long, and when you crimp, you'll see exposed wire here. If this doesn't crimp the jacket like that, this can come loose over time. Okay, so you want to do your fittings right. So now what we can do, we can actually plug this guy into our pigtail. Okay, like so, and we can now loosen up the cap. Oh, let me put that in there. You want to make sure that you hear the snap, right? And then what we're going to do is put our pigtail in there. We're going to tighten that. You'll turn it clockwise till it won't anymore, and then do the same with the end cap. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we've got a weatherproof fitting. We showed you before this wouldn't pull out when it was not plugged in, and it's not going to pull out now. Everything's as tight as it can get. Okay, this plug is a 12-volt power supply plug that you could use if you are not using PoE. As we taught you in earlier videos, we use PoE switches to power these cameras, right? This is a PoE switch. This is a PoE port. We plug the camera into that PoE port, okay? That's why the plugs need to match on both ends, and that will power the camera. The upload port, one would go to your internet or router. The other one would go to the NVR, and that would pick up this camera. Okay. If you're networking a standalone camera and going to use like CamCloud or something like that to monitor and to record data on the cloud, you would just hook the camera to the PoE switch and then the PoE switch to your modem or router. This would go live, and then you could network it to the cloud. There is a link above to the CamCloud resource. That's great for people that don't want to invest in a recorder. But that is how you put on a weatherproof plug, John. That's not going to get wet. It's not going to corrode. We always, when we install these cameras, we try to mount them on a ceiling or a wall in a way that these connections will be inside. Sometimes do-it-yourselfers, if you're doing a concrete wall or something like that, you don't have a hammer drill, or in a remote location where the pigtail has to be exposed to the elements and you can't use a junction box to protect it, you can use these plugs, and they work. They work for many years. Hopefully the video was useful. Again, please subscribe if you haven't done so to our channel. Like the video if it's useful, and we'll see you in the field.